So they pulled off my clothes, took pictures of all my tattoos. I'm looking at Geraint Thomas and Chris Froome and like these amazing World Tour athletes go by, and most of them looked over, seen me in my underwear just on the side of the road. I actually ended up getting held up at the Olympics at gunpoint. Pretty wild journey. I took an Uber to the course because I couldn't actually be in the village. Like somehow the national team didn't organize everything to get me a pass, anything. So I stayed at a surf hostel outside of the Olympic camp or facility or whatever it was, and I would take an Uber over to the camps to help Luis and some of the other members of the Mexican national team. The day of the race, I took an Uber like 60K over to like the feed zone area so I could hook up with the other people associated with the national team to then get a ride to the finish and help them with whatever. The closest I could get was like 5 or 8 kilometers from the feed zone, and everything was closed off, the course and everything. So I just get dropped off, I walk and or jog as fast as I can to like the feed zone area. And there's like fans and groups of things. I'm walking by a group of people that are just fans getting schlitz, hanging out on the side of the course, getting ready for the circuit of the course and people that ride by. And someone in a soccer jersey just grabs me and I pull my hand off. I'm like, whatever, it's no big deal. I keep walking and this person grabs me again more aggressively, and I clench my fist like I'm gonna have to possibly do something with this person. And before I get fully turned around, there's a gun right in my face. I don't understand much or any Portuguese at all. I listened to like 10 minutes of it going over there, but I could tell by their tone and the way they're doing, they're not trying to rob me or something. I was wearing pants and a long sleeve type shirt, just be protected from Zika at the time and the sun. Once I was on the ground, they started pulling off my clothes, and then I'm covered in tattoos. They thought I was some kind of gang member or something and I'm like they're pulling stuff out of my bag. Thankfully, one person there spoke English and was kind of walking me through like, hey, these are undercover police officers. They didn't even tell me as they had a gun in my face or on the ground that they were undercover police until after this person said so. I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me know that you're police. Like a minute and a half into this, I had literally no contact information or anyone from the national program because I never met any of these people before. Half of them, I don't even think had any affiliation with cycling. They were just people that wanted to be there. And so I was like, watching the race go by, I was cheering for Luis in my underwear on the side of the road. One of the British national team guys were there on the side of the road. I'm like, hey, phone in or radio into the cars and get the national team to like vouch for me. Even the Americans, like tell them like they know who I am. And he's like, sorry, mate, I can't help you out. I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean you can't help me out? So I'm sitting there, I just lose all hope. I'm like, I'm not gonna get, the whole reason I flew across the world to come to the Olympics, to be here as an athlete, I don't think I'm gonna experience it. I think I'm literally gonna sit on the side of the road with these guys in my underwear for half the day and not see this race. They eventually like say, hey, we know who you are, it's okay, you could go. So I get dressed, I literally run as fast as I can. It's like a K to the feed zone. I get there literally as the cars are pulling away. I'm like beating on the window to get in this car and they're like, where have you been? What happened? And they didn't speak great English to start. So I was just like, I got held up. And I basically get to the end of the race. Like I talked to Taylor Finney at the end. I talked to these people and like, they're like, what the hell just happened to you? Like, it was hard for anyone to process what actually happened. Even myself, I'm like, I don't know, but I'm here and I'm at the finish of the road race in the Olympics. And Luis, he got pulled out like at the finishing circuits of this race. There was kind of another issue that happened prior to the race that kind of messed with his race a bit. But so I tell him what happened. He's like, I had a feeling that's what was happening to you. But he's like, honestly, you kind of looked a bit like you were causing some trouble. Like the way you were walking around in pants and long sleeves and it's 100 degrees with insane humidity. Yeah, it was just, an incredible event, and the fact that we got to go to Olympics 6 months after he snapped his femur was just one of the most rewarding experiences in my career.